So I know that confidence is a big part of that. So before I really started, I've been in healthcare a long time, but there was a
Mhm.
time that I was not quite that health person. I was that nurse standing outside smoking cigarettes. So do as I say, not as I do type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So I know that at one point I was in a very large body and I wasn't confident and I didn't know where that stemmed from, what happened,
Mm.
so I was forced to go back and really look at the traumas from the past and stuff. So in from a business perspective, how important is that for you when you're trying to help people, entrepreneurs, gain
You
their
know,
confidence?
building their confidence, it's absolutely critical, because I think one of the biggest things that comes up at every level, including really senior executives within global corporates, is imposter syndrome, is this sense that I'm not enough. I don't quite know what I'm doing. Today's the day they find me out. And also, people have a tendency to look at other people and think, oh, look at them, they've got it all figured out. And nobody has. Nobody has. And certainly, one of the things that contributes to that with entrepreneurs, and whilst I'm saying with entrepreneurs, with in my opinion, with everybody, is this notion that we should be something else. We should be something other than what we are. And if I think about my own experience, a lot of people will say to me nowadays, "Oh, well, you're so confident, and you speak, and you do." Yeah, but I learnt to do that. My drama teacher was a pivotal person in terms of helping me to present myself in a more confident light, because I think, like many people, as a youngster, my mother, God bless her, was very keen that I should be a credit to the family, that I would be, the sorts of things that parents want their kids to aspire to. But the flip side of that was, I felt like I was constantly being compared to other people. And I remember, as a very small child, I used to go to Sunday school, and I had a friend called Penny, and we were always up to mischief. We were the ones kind of laughing, and when you laugh in church, it's always worse because you're not meant to. And Penny's older sister Anna was model child. She would look after her younger siblings. Her hair was always tidy. And I remember my mum saying to me frequently, "Why can't you be more like Annabelle? Why can't..." And it's the constant thing of, why can't you be more like somebody else? And it's not just with the best will in the world. I mean, my mum was trying to get me to act in a more responsible and mature manner than clearly I was at that stage. But unfortunately, the message that lodged in my head was, you're not as good as this other person. And when I speak to entrepreneurs, a lot of them, or executives, people who have, particularly if they find themselves in a new role, in a leadership role, or they're trying something new, or they're out of their comfort zone, they are starting to think, I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I should be something else. Who I am and what I am isn't good enough. I should be something else. So whenever I'm working with anybody, that is the first thing to address. It's like, no, 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 no. You've got this. You have got this. You are enough. You are. And three things that I often point people towards is, what can you learn, leverage, and leave? So we accept as irrefutable truth that you are enough. You have what it takes. The first thing is, what from here on in, as you move into this new arena of your life, what do you need to learn and do differently? Because we can all learn and take different approaches and learn new skills. What do you need to learn and do differently? What strengths do you already have that you can leverage? And people oftentimes underestimate their own skills. They'll look at somebody else's skills, perhaps that they don't have, and think, oh, look at them, they're really good at, and they forget what they're good at because they're so good at it. It's so inherently them. They tend to think, oh, well, if I can do it, it's easy. Or if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's not the case. It's, what skills do you have that you can leverage? And also, the third thing is, what do you need to leave behind because it no longer serves you? And sometimes it's habits and practices that we need to leave behind because they no longer serve us. And sometimes it's thinking practices and limiting beliefs that we now need to put down on the ground and walk away from because they no longer serve us. Maybe they never did. Maybe in some dim and distant past they protected us in some way. But now they're no longer useful. So those three things are absolutely pivotal when I'm working with somebody. Yeah, we're looking at productivity and business growth, but fundamentally it comes down to the human being, that person as an individual first and foremost. And it's absolutely about who they are as a person before anything else.
You think I see that a lot of this stems from childhood. You know,
Yeah.
when we're growing up, we are compared to other people. I was
Yeah.
the youngest of four girls. So I was certainly compared to them throughout the years, but also we're taught to look outside of ourselves for more. You know,
Mm.
get a great education, get a hobby, get this, get that. Nothing really focuses on self and self-care growing up in a real way, you know, in a formative way where we're taught to look in and express ourselves more instead of,
Mm.
you know, baby don't cry, things like that. It's always hush, you know, don't feel, don't do. And I think as we get older, that's always going to be in the back of our minds, especially with imposter syndrome.